All right, Jalen, thanks so much for giving us the opportunity to chat with you. I'm Erika from Black Sports Online, and I have a few questions for today's interview. Are you ready?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So you've quickly become a fan favorite in your broadcasting career. Now, when you were first offered the opportunity, did you study anyone else's style or did you sculpt your own?
Excuse me. Great question. So initially, I fell in love, obviously, with basketball and sports whatnot growing up. And mass communications was my major at college, radio, TV, film.
Oh, wow.
So I remember being the guy playing NBA Live and John Madden football. And when somebody loses and it's a house full of people, instead of picking your nose or falling asleep, you got to commentate the next game. So I kind of started getting practice that way a long time ago. And playing in the 2000 finals for the Indiana Pacers, and I got traded to the Bulls in 2002, I think. They had nine wins in February, so I'm like, oh, we ain't going to the playoffs. So I reached out to a contact that I had at BET, and I asked Mad Sports, could I cover the Lakers versus Nets final for them? I just said I could get a credential. I had to play the stage, just in the camera. You know, I get all of the access, and they cut it and spiced it. They played it on TV. They liked it. So from 2002, 2007, I got a chance to work with various people and work with various outlets. James Brown, somebody that comes to mind. Now working with HBO and CBS. I did his radio show with him in the early 2000s.
Uh-huh.
Gus Johnson is also a Detroit native. I'm a huge fan of his, and he became one of my mentors. Stuart Scott,
Of course.
as well. And so, as I was talking 2002 to 2007, I got a chance to work with various outlets. So Doug Collins is one of my mentors. Also, so in working for, I did, as I mentioned, BET Mad Sports, Best Damn Sports Show, period.
Mm-hmm.
John Sally initially. John Sally, when I was with Best Damn Sports Show, was one of the people that took me under his wing. I worked for TNT. I'm just trying to think of who I worked for so I can start to think about all the people that influenced me. BET, Mass Sports, ABC. I worked Top Rank Boxing, NFL Network. Yeah, those pretty much were the people that I reached out to for mentorship.
Wow.
And so in 2007, during that 5-year period while I was in the league, as I said, I was moonlighting for all of those multiple outlets, doing sideline and studio for TNT, MTV Movie Awards, Top Ranked Boxing, NFL Network, ABC with Snapper and Bill Walton, Cold Pizza before it became First Take. And so when I retired in 2007, I just started working full-time for ESPN.
Mm-hmm. That's fabulous. Now, was that transition hard mentally because you sort of realized that soon enough you wouldn't be able to play basketball on a professional level?
You know, I think the transition was a lot more realistic for me because I never saw myself. My humility came when I looked in the mirror and realized I wasn't Magic Johnson.
Ah.
It was like, you're okay, but you're not Magic. So whatever else happened in my life, you know, it kind of kept me even keel. And so while doing media as an active player, so if you think about it, I'm in Chicago playing on a lottery-bound team, averaging 22, 23 points. But when the season ends, I'm full-time working in the media.
Ah.
So I actually was, and that was before it was multiple media outlets. Yeah, it was, you know, and so the real estate was a lot more scary. And so I took it serious. I had a focus with it, and that allowed the transition, doing multiple outlets, multiple networks, doing print. Oh, and Bill Simmons is one of my mentors also.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I just think that helped ease my transition when I retired in 2007.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. So, were you at all nervous when you made your very first debut? And in case you weren't, what helped boost up your confidence so you would make sure to steal the show?
I was nervous. Um, it's funny you say that because now I don't think twice, and we joke about don't get fired because you get so relaxed, you feel like you're on TV and you don't want to say the wrong thing.
Uh huh.
Um, but initially, yes, when you care about something and you're passionate about it and you're doing it for the first time, you should get nervous. It's no different than a big game or anything else. So yes, I do recall being nervous and having butterflies. But I was excited about the challenge and felt like I was prepared and wanted to work hard and, show my personality and try to do a good job.
That's wonderful. Now, just to stick with the topic of broadcasting, we know you're very integrated in choosing music for the show. If you can recall, what's the song that caught everyone by surprise and even probably made them download it?
So a unique thing about what I've tried to do in my multimedia space is, so Ty Freeson and Amina Hussein, they're basically, they're coordinating. Amina's the coordinating producer of NBA Countdown,
Okay.
and Ty is the director, and we're all around the same age. So that allowed us to use the ABC opportunity for the jukebox and a league that the players love rap music, and obviously a lot of the fans identify with it as well. Tried to make it unique to the point where we integrated what you saw, whether it was a player warming up or getting off the bus or doing a highlight, almost like a soundtrack to a movie.
Wow.
I'm old enough to remember when a soundtrack to a movie actually reflected the movie versus just being songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what we try to do. And so even if it's like, somebody being brutally honest, we'll throw on, the J. Rue the Damager Come Clean. Or, oh man, there's so many. There's so many. I'm trying to think of one of my favorites, though. It's no accident when Draymond Green's on the floor and we show him warming up. We play, they call him D Nice.
Yeah.
Or Kobe Bryant walking in with his suit and his tie on and his shades on. We play the Sade Smooth Operator.
Yes. So it's good to see. So you guys pretty much have creative control over it in a sense, right?
Well, the thing is, having a director and a coordinating producer who we're all the same age and we understand the audience that we're playing to actually allows that to happen.
Wow, okay.
And so that's how it comes out organically on TV. And so, we're fortunate on ABC we have a jukebox. It's no different from what you see Jalen and Jacoby trying to do. If you're watching our show, you see the immortals we have on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like on my side, as a Detroit native, you'll see a lot of things that I'm passionate about with Detroit, whether it's, Aretha Franklin or Diana Ross or Mandela wearing a Pistons jacket. But then people that I idolize, like, the Ali Summit picture or John Carlos and Tommy Stanton at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And on Jacoby's side, since he remembers Massachusetts, he'll have the Beastie Boys up, or he'll have New Kids on the Block, or not New Kids on the Block. He had the Beastie Boys up, or Cheers.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, it's become more common, but we take pride in being, like, on a national level with the ABC show and with the Jalen and Jacoby show, actually embracing the culture and not just having vanilla things up behind it that didn't really represent, where we're from or our personalities.
That makes a lot of sense, and it kind of draws the audience more just to see more uniqueness and originality as well. So that's a good point that you're saying. So sticking with the topic of music, what is the worst verse you've ever heard in a hip-hop song? This could be both throwback or new age hip-hop, so it's going to be a little bit tough.
Oh, man, the worst verse? Um, um, I wasn't a fan of, um, you know, I'm old enough to remember when basically what was played in arenas was segregated. Like when
Oh.
I was like in college and early NBA, and I don't know if these were the worst verses I ever heard, but I they were songs that mainstream America gravitated to as hip hop, and they frustrated me because I used to always have to listen to them.
Ah.
There were songs like "Woo, There It Is" and "Tootsie Roll."
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Like the regular ones that you see, so you wanted something more unique.
Yeah, and it frustrated me because, like in high school, I went to my high school called Detroit Southwestern,
Uh-huh.
and I remember us setting the tape and putting the tissue at the top of the tape so we could run out to KRS-One South Bronx.
Ah.
That crowd used to be saying Southwest,
Mm-hmm.
Southwest. And so now, when I get to college, and obviously this is the music that myself and the Fab Five are playing in the locker room or when I get to the league, but when you enter the arena, those were the songs that was playing.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Now, last question in regards to music, and then we'll move it along to some NBA Finals chat. Now, even though I know the answer to this, I still gotta ask: Nas or Jay Z?
Whoa, that's like picking between my kids. There's a picture of me and Nas in
That's what. Mm-hmm.
1995. I don't know if you ever seen
Yeah,
this
I've seen
picture,
that photo. That's why I'm like, I think I know the answer, but let me go ahead and play devil's advocate and ask.
but man, ooh, you know what? Like, for me, like that's a pick. Like, I'm serious. Like, that, if you're forcing me to choose one, I have to say Jay. But really, it's a pick.
Ah.
Like, but here's why. Here's why.
Uh
Like in
huh.
sports, this is this when they played against each other. Nas won,
That's true. That's a good analogy.
right?
Yes. Now, moving
You
it
know.
along. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. You go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, that's why I'm like, in theory, I want to say Jay, but the athlete in me is like, wait a minute, like it's close, it's 51-49, but when they played against each other, either won.
It did. Definitely did. Definitely. Now, what do you think makes NBA Countdown so successful since you've been working with Chauncey Billups and Tracy McGrady?
I think that not only working with them, but also Michelle Beadle
Mm-hmm.
and all the people I've had a chance to work with. I worked with Bill, I worked with Magic, I worked with Wilbon, I've worked with Sage Steele, Doris Burke, Avery Johnson. I think our current group, uh, just like the past groups, because I don't want to disparage the past teams in any way, shape, or form, because I
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot and have love for all of them. I think we played against one another,
Mm.
and we respect each other off the floor, and we respect each other what we're presently doing. And so for me, as a person that, when I look left and look right in the NBA Finals, I'm like, man, this is going to be the first time for Vito and Sean.
Oh.
Like, this is going to be their first time. And so I enjoy working with them. I was in Denver when Chauncey, I was playing for the Nuggets while Chauncey was a member of playing in Colorado.
Mm.
So we go back that far. And obviously he starred and won a championship with the Pistons, my hometown team.
Yes.
So we go back a long way. And Tracy as well. I played with Vince Carter in Toronto. You know that they're cousins.
Yeah.
And so we all have a healthy respect for one another. We don't take each other too serious. We don't take our jobs too seriously. We don't take anything personal. And the key to it is staying true to your personality, but being able to say whatever to the other person and they not take it personal.
That's
But
true.
yet, each person stays in their lane.
That makes a lot of
And true
sense.
to their personality. So their personal fans and supporters appreciate that they're being authentic. And so now when we all put it together, hopefully it becomes entertaining for the fans. So I love each of them and enjoy working with them.
That's
Same as the people in the past also that I named.
that's great to say. That's definitely a good way of looking at it. Now, shifting to this year's playoffs, many expressed the common sentiment of boredom. Now, do you agree at all? And if so, what was missing in your opinion? Because I don't know if you saw, but Charles Barkley did mention that the hockey playoffs were way more exciting than the NBA this year.
I think that's a hot take.
Uh huh.
And not even like from Charles. I'm just saying like I've been asked this question by multiple people. And the reason why I term it that is, you mean to tell me you didn't enjoy Russell Westbrook this year? James Harden didn't have a great season? What about Isaiah Thomas? What about John Wall? What about Greek Freak? What about Kawhi Leonard? Like, I enjoyed watching all of them not only play basketball during the regular season, but play in the playoffs.
Mm.
Seeing elite level dominance in the NBA is nothing new for people that's been following the league the last 71 years. If you have been following, you know that 48% of the championships have been gotten by the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other teams that have more than 5 are the Bulls with 6, and they only have Michael Jordan, and 5 with Tim Duncan and the Spurs. So, like, there's always been eras where elite, game-changing players dominated their era. LeBron James making it the 7th straight NBA Finals. And so, and also, it's almost like the culmination of a heavyweight fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you still appreciate the opponents that they fight along the way, but you also enjoy the fact that they're going to be able to get into the ring with one another. And that's what we're seeing this year. I think it was 1989. The Lakers and the Pistons played against each other in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those teams had only lost 2 total games. Look back at who the Pistons beat, including the Bulls, by the way.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
If I ain't mistaken.
That's a very good point.
I think the Pistons beat the Bucks with like Sidney Moncrief and Paul Pressey. And this, I mean, you can research this for your story. I'm just driving in the car trying to say this.
It's okay.
I think they beat the Knicks or the Bulls, and then they beat the Celtics.
I definitely don't remember, and this is a little bit. And at the time, I was definitely in diapers, so this is way before my time.
Right. So like elite level dominance by franchise and generation changing players is nothing new in the NBA, especially when one has 4 All-Stars in the Golden State Warriors and the other has 3 in the Cleveland Cavaliers. The only 2 teams that have such.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So by now it's no miss.
And one other thing to go with that for everybody that says that. And I'm going to just go on and wax and say this.
Uh-huh.
I anticipate this is going to be the most watched NBA Finals in the history of the NBA.
That was actually my next question.
Yeah.
But you skipped into it.
So how can that be bad? Ratings were up from last year.
That's
how
true.
Can that be bad? Attendance is up the last few years. How can that be bad?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. So, since we already touched the topic of the finals, what are your finals predictions? Will we see LeBron back on top?
If Kevin Love was able to play in the NBA Finals like he played the Eastern Conference Finals, I would pick the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to duplicate that level of dominance that he showed.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give him a lot of credit from a player that last year was talking about fitting out, but now he's literally fitting in. And so I appreciate the way he's been balling. No surprises what I see from LeBron and obviously Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
With home court advantage, though it didn't matter last year, and though I'm picking them at 6, I'm just going to take the Warriors.
Oh.
I think adding KD, we know what he brings to the table, but I think Steph Curry's getting overlooked in this equation all season.
That's a good point.
I truly do, and I think he's going to be Finals MVP.
Oh, okay. No, that's a really good prediction. Were you at all surprised with the Spurs getting swept this year?
Surprised with the Spurs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't have been surprised that John Opportunity not recklessly injured Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's another thing I want to tell you about the playoffs. I mean, look at the injuries. Isaiah Thomas hurt. Celtics still win the game.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard, they were gonna win game one. Kawhi didn't get hurt. That series was gonna go 6.
Definitely a good point there.
Yeah. So again, had Kawhi not gotten hurt, that was gonna be a 6-game series. So I'm just disappointed that it happened, especially how it happened.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Now, I know that we're running low on time. I just wanted to ask you a couple more questions because I don't want to take up your time. But if you could change one thing or several things about the NBA coming from a former player, what would be your top priority?
If I could choose things that I want to change,
Yes.
Great question. I would want to change the supermax rule that affected Paul George and Gordon Hayward this year.
Oh.
Instead of having to be an all NBA player, I think you should be an all star.
Oh.
Because if both of those guys, if the rule was that, both of those guys, in my opinion, would stay with both of those teams. Now, since it isn't, I think both of those guys will likely end up elsewhere eventually.
I see what you mean. Now, out of the 6 teams... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, out of the 6 teams you played for, who do you secretly find yourself rooting for?
Oh, definitely the Indiana Pacers. I played half of my...
Mm-hmm.
You ask that to any player, they either going to say where they were the longest,
Uh-huh.
where they had the most success, and or where they made the most money.
Ah.
and for me, it's probably all three with the Indiana Pacers. In Indiana, I got a chance to play for Larry Brown,
Uh-huh.
who clearly wasn't a fan of mine, but he is a Hall of Fame coach. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
Uh-huh.
And Rick Carlisle was an assistant.
That's very true. Now, you've done so much for the community, and you even founded the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. How do you create a stable balance to make sure your charity work doesn't get ignored?
One of the hardest things to get people to do, to donate their time, their energy, and their money to something that they're not getting paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are a lot of celebrities and or public figures that attach themselves to situations and do it for the hype or for the cameras type of thing. And so I wanted to truly do something that would be impactful to give back to the community that I grew up in. When I saw that, I saw a politician say this one time. I took it personal. They were like, I think it was John McCain, when they were doing the presidential visiting different cities. I think he said when the United States, when other states get sick, Detroit gets the flu, or something like that.
Ooh.
And so that inspired me because at a time when we were opening more jails and closing schools, and the economic downturn was really taking place in our country, and we were on so many lists that we weren't proud of, like most dangerous city and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure a way that I could do something substantial to help elevate the young people in my community, to put them in position to not only educate themselves and have a quality inner city school to go to, but those who come from families that can't afford to move to a school district that has the high-performance school, or to the suburbs, the same thing, or parents that can afford to pay
Mm-hmm.
for them to go to private school, to put them in a position to get the same level of education. And so it really was a graduation of the mission.
Wow.
I was influencing 5 kids each year via scholarship for about 9 years with the Jalen Rose Charitable Fund. And then the next level of that was just to open the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy.
Wow.
In 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that makes our school, well, a lot of things that I'm proud of that make our school unique for a public school, But we're 9 through 16 model. So it's not just about graduating the young people from high school, but it's also seeing them through college as well.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we have 400 plus in the building. We'll have our third graduating class June 10th. And so this time next year, we'll be servicing on between 700 and 800 kids.
Wow, that's so admirable.
700 and 800 scholars, as we call them.
No, for sure. Wow, that's huge. You've literally seen your work grow. Wow, that's a lot of students in one school, especially when it's public.
And also, I want to also acknowledge that we're tuition free. We're public charter. We don't test students in or out.
Wow. Now, do you have an influence over who gets hired, or is obviously that just trickles down to whoever else is in charge in terms of teachers?
Being a founder of a school, you become a Swiss Army knife, because it's my job to make sure that we're getting to the outcomes that we promise the families.
Wow.
And we promise in the community. So there like I have multiple meetings with the management company that we hire, American Promise School, and the principal, and we go over, certain levels of outcomes that we hope to get accomplished, and things we need to improve on, and things that we're doing well we want to continue to do. And so I'm not in an office saying whether a teacher gets hired or fired or not, but I am looking at resumes, and I am paying attention at all times.
Wow.
Who's in the building.
That's fabulous. Very hands-on. Now, this is my last question because I think I might have run over my time, but what can we expect next from Jalen Rose? Will you probably be calling a Detroit game soon enough, or is that too soon to ask?
I love being in this multimedia space. I'm really grateful that I get the chance to do what I love, and it's called work. I enjoy being on NBA Countdown. I enjoy doing Jalen and Jacoby. I'm proud that it went from being a podcast and a passion project to a radio show that's also a television show. I'm proud that, as we mentioned, of the work we're doing at the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. And so just continue to be the best version of that I can and all of the things that I juggle professionally, and always open to new opportunities.
That's awesome. Well, Jalen, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us. I really appreciate it, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate the love.
Of course. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.